All right, guys, well, started cutting some hay today. This is the maiden voyage for the new wobble box on the 1475. So I've ran a couple rounds here, and I've been checking this temperature with one of these infrared temperature guns. The drive side, which is the side I rebuilt, it's running about 190. Seems a little hot to me. The other side's running about 150, which is the non-drive side. I would expect that temperature to be a little bit lower. I don't know why, but anyway, I'm gonna keep running it. I don't know when to stop, 210, 220. You'll have, gasoline engines running at that temperature, not hurt a thing. So I'm not really sure. I've made about 2.5 rounds here on this little 6-acre piece. Sure cutting good. The windrows look real nice. Good hay. Had a little bit of rain. It's really helped this hay, but anyway, we'll keep watching it, see how it does. I'm gonna make maybe 1 or 2 more rounds and keep checking the temperature. I'm just not sure when to stop. All right, guys, so we've got the old 16-footer cutting. Sure like that bigger machine. It's amazing how much more hay you can cut with 16 versus a 14-foot. Sure is cutting good right now. The hay looks pretty nice. It's pretty heavy. I'm actually going 1 gear slower just to, I don't know, hay's pretty heavy and I don't want to plug it up. I just sit here and go a little bit slower and let her keep cutting. So I'm going to stop and check this here in just another round or so and see what that temperature's doing. If you guys know, please leave some comments. I really don't know what it's supposed to be running. Like they said earlier, the one side was running at 190, the side I just rebuilt, I'm having trouble with, which is the drive side. So it's got that common shaft that drives both of the knives off one shaft, and only one side drives. So you would think the horsepower, equals temperature. That's what they teach in mechanics class. So maybe the one side just runs a little hotter. I don't know. So if anybody knows, leave some comments. All right, so I stopped and checked that temperature again. It's like a 196, 197. It seems awful hot to me. The other side's like 150-ish. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna keep checking it every, 15 or 20 minutes. If it'd stay right there, I mean, that's probably normal operating temperature. I just don't really know. 200 degrees for a gearbox doesn't seem all that hot, but bearings and stuff can take that kind of temperature, I would think, with no issues at all. But maybe it's just wishful thinking for me, hoping it'd run just a little cooler. Interesting that the one side is 150 and the other side's almost 200. So I don't know. I'll keep you posted on it. Checked it, and it's up to like 210, 215. Seems awful hot to me. When it failed, when I started my first truck with it, it was at 245, and it failed like 10 minutes later. I don't know how much longer I don't know what's normal. I keep thinking it's going to top out around 200, so I don't know. I'm going to keep running for another minute. I've cut about 3 or 4 acres with it. You would think that it would be up to temperature by now. I mean, it's close to 100 degrees outside, but I would think whatever it's going to run at, it would be there by now. So I don't know what the heck to think. We'll get out and check it here in another few minutes. So I got a pair of hawks that I've been feeding free lunch to. It's been kind of fun watching them. I don't know if you guys can see. He's laying with the windrow right in front of the tractor. But yeah, they've been getting lots of free mice and whatever else. You'll see them fly up right there. All right, checked it, and it seemed like it's kind of leveling off about 210. Seems a little hot to me, but the other side's like 160 or something like that. That seems like a pretty big gap for some reason, but I'm gonna just check it another couple of times before I'm maybe give it a shot of grease. It's only run here for an hour or so, but and I packed the bearings by hand with grease, so I don't think it's a lubrication issue, but I think it all might be some empty cavities in there, so give it another quick shot. Hopefully we'll be successful and this old girl will just keep running for a while. I'm going to show you guys, I'm just opening this field up. You can see how deep those tracks look. Probably the best hay I've ever had right here. You see it over there on the swather, how it's pushing on that front bar. Yeah, it's nuts how deep that is. I think the swather's running pretty good. I greased it and keep checking on that temperature on it. But anyway, so this is the small fill on this one farm I'm running. And that's the other one I got finished. So pretty nice windrows. Alright guys, well I'm just finishing another field. I think we're doing okay on this swather. I've checked this temperature and it actually has come down to about 185 on that bearing temp from about 215. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if that bearing is a little tight and just kind of worn in, but I've checked it several times over the last hour, hour and a half, and it's been 185 the whole time. So we're going to call that success. So I'm moving into my big field now. I've cut 4 fields, total of about 15 acres. The biggest field has been 6 acres, and then a 2 acre and a couple smaller pieces, 3-4 acres, whatever they are, but what a pain in my neck. You guys that cut hay for a living know that these little tiny fields are just a giant hassle. So got those knocked out. I'm going to move into the big field, which is about 40 acres, so hopefully this will just keep going smooth. Keep your fingers crossed. Well, I was just cutting a little hay and feeling so proud of myself, and looked back there and the windrow just didn't look quite right. There was something, the way the hay was laying wasn't right. So I thought I'd get off and check, and sure enough, I got 2 broken sections right in the middle of the swather, which lays right under the windrow. So it's kind of hard to see when you do that. But and the beauty of it is it's where the the 2 knife sections cross over. So it's just a little bit of a giant pain in the neck to try to get them fixed. But I got about an hour and a half of daylight, so I'm going to try to get them put together and get back in the field before it gets dark. So we'll see what happens. I'll show you guys this knife section that's broke. It's probably one of the worst places there is to break one, just because it's where the 2 knives overlap. I'll show you. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's 2 knife sections right together that's broke, and it's got that bar on the top. So on this one, I think it's just as easy to pull the knife. Then I can use air tools or whatever to work on it. So to pull that knife, all I gotta do is pull this bolt out, and then I loosen. So I pull this bolt clear out, loosen this one, and then these 2 arms just separate. It's not too big of a deal. So. Here we go, trying to zip this out. We love our cordless tools. Pretty simple to get that out. So there is the two culprits. This guy, well, this one's bent pretty bad. See, that one's bent. This one's broke. So what I'm gonna do is just get the impact, take all them bolts off, and then I think I'm just gonna lift this bar off. I don't know, I might have to look at it. Might be able to just take those two bolts out, punch them out. So I'll take it over to the anvil. Stupid things get stuck in there. So I think what I'm gonna do is just try to punch them bolts out, and then I can just wiggle them right out, I think. We're gonna try it. Well, all the bolts are out. One knife section out. Two knife sections out. Simple as mud. So these knife sections, I'm not even sure what brand they are, but the holes are just like a minute measurement off. You can pound a bolt through there if you have to. It's a giant pain. It's so weird. They are just so slightly off. It says it's for Massey Ferguson, John Deere. Maybe they're just not the right ones. I don't know. I thought these were all a universal fit. I think what I'm doing is just go get a drill bit and just kind of ream that hole out a little bit. If you try to suck them bolts through there, they will break every time. All right, I turned the camera off because my battery's going a little bit low. But I just used the drill bit and put one bolt in on them and drilled the other side. It took a few seconds to drill them out. And then I turned them over on the anvil, drove the bolts through the backside with the hammer to make sure they're seated good. And then I was just tightening my hand. Those bolts are so break so easy. Plenty tight just by hand. So if you guys can see that, The bolts are grossly over length. I'm gonna go grab my cordless grinder. I'll have them cut off in a few seconds. Yeah, I buy those longer bolts because on the other end, on the drive side, they take a longer bolt. It's really easy to cut these off, so that's what we'll do. So a good friend of mine runs some older Heston equipment. He says his knives are really difficult to get out. This one, as you can see, slides in and out pretty simple. I use these lock nuts, and I'll put a little drop of Loctite on this one. Battery's dead. We love cordless tools until the batteries go dead. I didn't realize that this thing has a power level on it, and I'd switched it to the lowest power, so even with a good battery, it's acting weak. Plenty strong now. So the trouble with this bearing here, one I replaced, the only way to tell you've got enough grease in it is if you blow the seals out. So I packed it really good by hand, and I'm just freshening the grease up just a little bit. So this swather's only cut about maybe 15 acres of hay. It shouldn't need a full grease job after 15 acres. So, but where this is a new bearing, this one I've been having a little, not trouble, but the temperature's been a little higher. Give it a little shot of fresh grease. All right, you guys can see the sun is all but down. I got about 30 minutes left. I'm gonna go cut as much hay as I can before it's too dark. All right, guys, well, I'm still cutting hay. It's about 9:30 at night. Got the sprinklers moved out of the way. Much as we love the sprinklers, they sure are in the way when you're trying to put up hay. But they're worth it, I guess. So, pretty fortunate my tractor's got pretty good lighting on it. When I got that tractor, kind of ordered it in a way from a used equipment dealer over in Colorado. I told him I wanted good lights on it. You know, when you work a full-time job and you're trying to farm on the side, sometimes the nights get pretty late. I'm not sure how much later I'm gonna cut. There's no way I'll finish this field tonight. I got maybe half done of this 40-acre piece, so Probably not even that actually. So I'll have to finish it tomorrow, but I kind of like farming at night. Equipment runs cooler, and if things are running good, I run a little cooler. It's not a bad thing, really. It's funny, my wife and my daughters think I'm nuts. They think the boogie monster is going to get me out here at night, but yeah, I'm not too worried about that. So anyway, we'll keep going for a little while. See if we can keep the equipment running. I'll flip it around and show you the lights on the tractor. So yeah, this tractor came with pretty good lighting on it. It's got some extra, like auxiliary lights, what I call it, on the back. Makes it pretty nice. So like those extra lights on top, they were aftermarket stuff or had it on, but I'll tell you, a guy can do pretty good farming at night. You got pretty good visibility on stuff. So I think we'll keep going for a little while. Well, good morning, everybody. It's not quite 6 o'clock in the morning yet. I'm going to get started on day 2 of cutting hay. I'm hoping to be able to finish today. I'm going to give that swather a shot of grease before we get started. So my whole operation is about 50 acres, and I've cut, I'm going to guess, about 30 of it yesterday. So made a real good start on it. Hopefully we'll get finished up on a good time today. So I am going to go get myself a big giant Diet Mountain Dew and start the day off right. All right, guys, well, went and got me a cold drink, start the day off right, and I'm gonna use the weed blower and just clean this machine off a little bit, give it a shot of grease, and get back to cutting. Alrighty, I think we're ready to start cutting hay again. Oops. Hopefully we'll not break anything today. That's the goal. Alright guys, so I'm just cutting away, and my little buddy decided to come visit me this morning. He's been hanging out in this field for the last couple of years. I don't know if you guys can see it there on the camera. But all by himself. So there you go. Decided to run away, but about antelope, but it's odd that he's here by himself, and he's been here for the last couple of years. So that's the excitement of the day when you're cutting hay. Kind of boring just going up and down the field back and forth. I did a little video yesterday. I had 2 hawks that was getting some free lunch, picking up the mice out of the window, so it was kind of fun to see them. And then like I say, this antelope, it's a little bit of a weird deal. He showed up 2 years ago, and all by himself, and he's hanging out here. We see him off and on all summer. I haven't seen him actually for a couple of weeks, and there he was this morning. So anyway, keep cutting hay. The old swather seems to be running pretty good today. I just jinxed myself, didn't I? Dang it. Well, alright, we finished cutting hay. This is the end of the second crop cutting, and as far as I know, I don't have to buy any swather parts, so that was made it a good day. It's only about 9:15 in the morning, so I've had a pretty good day so far, and I'm just going to go grease this swather and get it cleaned up and get it parked and get the tractor fueled and let the hay dry. So we're going to call this the end of the video. This has been a long video. I'm not really sure how much I'm going to cut out of it. It's an interesting thing because I've got some subscribers that aren't really farm people, and they kind of like to see the process of some of this stuff, and then there's the farmers that see this and this is just old news to them. There's nothing interesting going on here for someone that's got a lot of experience farming. So anyway, we're going to call this guy a day. Please subscribe. Thanks everybody for watching.